Hi everyone, it's Roger here from Infinity and Beyond, presented by VinylMationKingdom.com, and this is the Infinity and Beyond webcast. This is episode 4, and we are live now on YouTube, and you're also going to be able to watch this again on YouTube, and it will also have an audio version on YouTube. Sorry, it'll be having an audio version will be also available on iTunes and also on Stitcher. Okay, so this week there's been loads and loads and loads of information. We found out loads of bits and pieces. We found out about Donald Duck. We found out about a load of Toy Box stuff. We found out about a Toy Box bundle, and then we had Crystal Mickey, and we also had the Toy Box Summit. Now, what was interesting about this is we're going to go run through all of this. So it's going to be quite a little bit of time, but before you do so, remember you can subscribe to the channel on YouTube. You can also, as I said, you can subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher for the audio version a bit later on. And you can also check us out on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook, but primarily on Vinylmation Kingdom and then our Facebook group. Okay, where I will be talking to anybody there throughout the show and just getting some feedback, etc. So anyway, let's get on with the news. Okay, so here we are. So let's kick off with the big news we started at the beginning. So let's kick off with news about Donald. So I'm going to just show you the video here of Donald in action.
Peggy 7.
The journey of a true hero is not written for him. It's forged by the choices he makes and the worlds he creates.
Additional characters and content sold separately.
What's in that direction?
So there was the trailer for Donald Duck that was released at the beginning of the week at the Gamescom in Germany. Now for me, Donald Duck looks amazing. I'm just going to bring up a picture here of Donald, of the actual figure. As you can see there, he's got his arms crossed, and he's going to look awesome next to Mickey Mouse. He's going to they're going to look awesome next to each other. Also announced there's going to be a Donald Duck sort of musketeer outfit. So if you put that power disc down, it would change Donald Duck into one of the musketeers. Now for me, I think this is a fantastic figure. I can't wait to get out of him. He is going to be toy box only, so that there means that doesn't look like there's going to be a Donald Duck playset. But after all the information we found out from the Toy Box Summit, I'm not particularly worried about that. Now Donald Duck looks amazing. I think he's going to be a fantastic addition to Disney Infinity, and I just think in general having sort of such a great character and figure is just great for the game overall. Now, as you said, and that's, Donald Duck actually feels quite a while ago since we found out about that. Even though it's only been under a week, there's been so much news coming out. So I'm just going to flick through a couple of pictures here that we had of Donald Duck that came through. So here we go. In this picture here, we can see Donald Duck is there with the trees in the background, and then you've got the Chippendale little village, sort of little small people. Okay. In this next image, we have a image of Donald Duck in the like a Ferrari Lamborghini, which looks like it is probably, I think it's Tony Stark's, but more importantly than that, what you can see in the sky dome at the back is a forest on fire, and most of us on the group believe that this actual toy box is, or this is actually a sky dome for the new Planes Fire and Rescue. And there's also a new vehicle here that Lone Ranger's driving. I think it's from Gravity Falls. Some other pictures here that I'll just show you, sort of Donald Duck, and there's some Gravity Falls things in the background. And again, these are all sort of images that got put out by Disney. Okay, we've got like a big cheeseburger building in the background there. Okay, and as you can see, some more blocks here with Agent P and Sully. What I like about a lot of these pictures that they're putting out is that you've essentially got the first game and the second game all sort of nicely combining. Here we have again some more Mystery Shack and some Jasmine in this picture. Again, this shows off the cake that is going to be part of Merida's Toy Box game. Okay, so here we go. So that there was some pictures there of Donald that we got sent in our press pack. Okay, so what I'm going to have a look now at is another piece of information that came out about a new figure, which was Johnny V put out this picture of a Crystal Mickey. Now this figure is going to be available in the winter. We aren't too sure yet of the date. Now what's interesting about this Crystal figure is that it is going to work on the first game. And what also, the reason why it got delayed, I think, was due to some painting errors, or anyway, it got delayed in production, and so it got pushed back. And I think they decided just to launch it with 2.0. It's going to be the last of the Crystal figures. They have JV put out a message saying that we wouldn't see any more Crystal figures because they'd rather make some more characters instead, which I'm personally more happy of. I was never a big fan of the Crystal figures, but I am going to pick up this last one. So anyway, remember you can comment in below with what you think of the news that I've been talking about in this. Okay, so this is some information that came out. It's come out a few times during this last week, which is the Toy Box Bundle Pack. Originally it leaked via Swag Bucks, but it was a really picture and just generally just wasn't very good. What we can see in this image, that it got released on the Toys R Us website yesterday. It confirms that Stitch and Merida and the 2 game discs that go with that are part of that. This has been one of those things. I think Disney are actually announcing that this week, so we could expect that any time. There's always been a bit sort of dodgy of what this is going to be. But there's been a lot of confusion on the Infinity and Beyond Facebook group about what is the differences between sort of the Marvel Starter Pack, this Toy Box Bundle, and there was other, they used to be throwing around other terms earlier, including the Originals and the Legends, but it does seem now that the Toy Box Bundle is there, sort of the right wording for it. Now, just to make it clear, each of the Marvel and the Toy Box Bundle both have the same, like, DVD. The thing that you get in the actual pack that you put on your games console is identical. There is no difference at all. What is different, and that is also the same as the digital version. If you buy the Marvel one, you get the Marvel 3 figures, the Avengers, and you get those 2 Toy Box game discs. You will be able to buy the Stitch and Merida, and we haven't yet had a confirmation of how they're going to be sold, but JV has confirmed that all the Power Disc games that you see are going to be available separately. But if you buy the Marvel one, you can then buy Stitch and Merida. You don't have to worry about that. If you wait until the Toy Box Bundle and you decide at the last, I want that Guardians of the Galaxy, you can pick up that up, pop it down, and it will work. And if you want the Avengers, they're going to be releasing them separately as well. So you can buy the playset piece that comes with Iron Man and Black Widow, and then Thor is going to be separate. So there's no need to worry about which version you've got to get. You can pick any of those free versions, the digital, the Marvel, or the Toy Box bundle, and you can buy it separately, and they'll all work. The only reason they've done this is so you've got the Marvel on one side, and then you've got the Disney on the other, and that is the only reason they've done it. There's no difference in the game. It's just what's in the package. If you're buying the Marvel starter pack, you don't need to buy the Toy Box bundle. You just need to buy the figures separately. Or if you don't want to buy the Marvel, just wait and buy the Toy Box bundle. Now, we're going to find out a lot more information on that this week, so we're going to push that to the side back burner. There was something that got on the Swagbucks image that was really, really grainy, but we've seen other images that looked like it had Hero and Baymax on the front cover. And also during the opening scene of the keynote speech that you could see, there was a little glimmer, but we're just going to on that. We're not supposed to talk about it. Anyway, so there was also a Toy Box trailer that they put out just before the Toy Box Summit, which showed off loads of new features. This whole weekend, it's just been about the Toy Box. This Toy Box Summit that took place in Salt Lake City, at the Avalanche Studios, they brought in about 15-20 of the best Toy Box artists that have had loads of stuff sort of featured as the top 5. And they all got given a challenge. They all basically had to make a Toy Box overnight. They literally, after it went live, they all went off and had to basically make a game. And then yesterday evening, they had to then show it off to us all on Twitch. Now, we've had so much content thrown at us over this weekend. Saturdays we had about 3 hours of video footage live from Twitch, and we had the same yesterday for the second day. I mean, literally, I watched the whole footage. There was so much information coming through. There was so much going on. You couldn't really, I've made some notes up on the website so you can actually look at the general notes, but there was so much going on. But the one key thing I found coming out of the Toy Box Summit, and from these videos that they've been showing out, the Toy Box in 2.0 is a completely different thing from the first game. They have completely overhauled it. Everything that you could pretty much have done in the playsets is now in the Toy Box. There's so much stuff in there. There's like 79, 80 new toys. They can basically create a game. There is so much bits and pieces that they've added in. You can create orb challenges. You can have races. You can fly through gates. You can lock people into angles. You can put invisible barriers. So it's actually now going to be, when you do a 2D game, you can't keep falling off the edge. There's so much more stuff added to it. It just looks so fantastic. And the weekly Toy Box Toy Box challenges are almost going to be like getting brand new levels of playsets, and your imagination is just watching what the people created yesterday. Everyone created something completely different, and that's the beauty of that sort of Toy Box. Really, anyone that is worried about sort of not having playsets, it's really hard to explain. If you watch some of the video, you can see what people are creating, and you're going to be able to go up to a little object, and you'll have some text. They're going to be able to tell a story. They're going to be able to tell you, you need to go find the gate, or you need to go get a key from here and bring it back. They're going to be able to zoom in. They're going to be able to use angles. They've got finales, openings. You can even combine 10 different toy boxes together through doors. And so, like a toy box can have 10 different levels. And if they max out one, they can go into another and max that out. And they're all interlinked, so if they upload one or you download one, you get all of them. It just looks amazing. The amount of information that's come out, and the Toy Box is the main part of the game now. It's no longer, the playsets are a bonus, I would view. The Toy Box is the chunk and the meat and two veg of Disney Infinity. It really is just going to be a fantastic thing, and if you've watched the footage back, I mean, like I said, if you watch the two things, you're looking at about 6 hours. Hopefully they're going to put up some edited highlights on the Disney Infinity website, because it was a lot to go through. It kicked off with a keynote speech with the two Johns sort of discussing Disney Infinity. They also showed off the first sort of 10-minute opener and sort of showed all the characters and stuff, but they have asked us not to talk about it, so we're not. They also then had a sort of a panel with different people from the game, all sitting there just discussing it and doing live feedback with people on the internet. And generally, I thought it went really well, and they're hoping to do this again. And then after the panel, they then brought on the Toy Box mentors, and they discussed in quick length. They were basically giving the training speech to the Toy Box artists there, and we could see it all, and they were showing off bits of it. And the amount of new stuff to learn for Disney Infinity 2.0. I mean, I feel really bad for the artists that actually, they pretty much stayed up all night creating those toy boxes, and they're all going to be available when the game comes out, which I think is a great. It's going to be good for us to literally be able to get in and sort of have a bunch of 2.0 toy boxes available straight away. I hope they actually had a little bit of time at the end of the summer after it went off to actually maybe sort of fix some of them, but I don't know if that was the case or not. Everything from the first, all the toy boxes from the first game are moving over. You're going to be able to search for them all, and the best bit of all is you can now share your toy boxes with friends, no matter what console you're on. So all you need to do is when you've logged in on your Disney ID, that's the not your Xbox or your Wii or your PSN, use your Disney ID. You can register at disney.com/infinity, and it creates all your for me, it has all my characters, it has all my points, and you can link it up to your PSN or your Xbox Live or your Wii. So if you go on there, and you can add a friend. Now, what you can do is I can just make a toy box, put it up, and everyone that I'm a friend with on my Disney ID can download it. I don't have to be online. There's no kind of inviting people in. As long as you're a friend, you can share it. So what we are doing on the Infinity and Beyond Facebook group is basically, you can put up your Disney ID and you can become friends with people, and we can all sort of share toy boxes. It's going to make life a lot more enjoyable in terms of sort of the community. The community are really going to be able to share more toy boxes, and I think that's a huge addition. Now, they've had to go through the Disney ID because every toy box is filtered for text, etc., and just keeps it all nice and safe in there. So that's going to be a great start, and I think that's going to allow for more toy boxes than just the top sort of 5, because essentially, if you've submitted your toy box and it didn't make it, well, you can still share it with the community, to people, to your friends, and I think that's going to be a big addition. As I said, all the toy box artists, they're all competing, and what they were competing for was for a PlayStation 4 and a sort of a starter pack. Now, they've already, obviously they're learning about Disney Infinity and getting to grips with it. At the end of the show, JV was kind enough to give everyone that was competing a PlayStation 4 and a starter pack, and they also got given a Crystal Mickey right there and then. So that was cool. And the winner of this competition will have themselves immortalized in a townsperson. Now, they sort of said they might bring it in as a patch, but also it could be next year's game. They did say, they'll hopefully, they're not sure when it will be done, but whoever wins. And how you vote is via Twitter. You basically just have to use a hashtag of the artist's name. They haven't announced how it's going to win. I'm expecting it'll be on a Toy Box TV episode that they're going to announce who's going to win. But it's pretty cool that they all got given a PS4, because the whole event, I think, was sponsored by PlayStation, so that all the footage you saw was all done on the PlayStation version. Now, what was really cool watching everybody on that Toy Box Summit was how everyone went off in completely different directions. Some people went and tried sort of building a full level. Some people tried to just build like parts of it. And it was really fun to see how everyone went off in different directions. But I can't wait to try them all out. And I think it's going to encourage a lot of people to be Toy Box artists in the future. Not just because of the Toy Box Summit, which they want to hold annually, but just because so much of it can be auto-created. So I can create a city, I can then create orb challenges, or I can create a race through it in the sky, or, there's just going to be so much more we can do, and they're going to be, everything that you find in those little Toy Box game discs, people would be able to create in the Toy Box. They're also going to have those Toy Box mentors, which were all originally toy box artists that got signed up by Disney. That's how much they took this seriously. They are going to be creating new content, like webisodic episodes. They're going to be one-offs. It's just going to be pretty cool that they've got these artists creating additional content for us, and it's all going to be free of charge. And that's the beauty of all these toy box challenges, is we have got brand new content continuously, week after week after week. It keeps people back in the game, and overall I just think it's fantastic. I think the toy box has been so massively overhauled that anyone that is worried about not having a Disney playset shouldn't really worry too much. Now, we didn't find out anything really about playsets at Toy Box Summit. There's a few sort of hints in there, but personally I didn't really pick up on anything massive there. The whole point of this whole show was about being in the toy box, and I think that's what they needed to do. And I think the whole Toy Box Summit was a fantastic idea to bring sort of the game together, and I think it will work. I think there'll be a lot of people that have watched the news and all the videos and found out about it that will be convinced that the toy box has been overhauled enough to go make it worthwhile buying. Now, like I said, there was so much information coming out. It looks like all the power discs got put out at the event. We haven't got any sort of full information on them just yet. But there looks to be a lot of cool little things. I know JV announced that there'd be a Sandy Claus power disc, so you literally put it down, and Jack Skellington gets a changeover to that outfit. So that's going to be pretty cool. As I said, there's been so much information coming out out of the Toy Box Summit. We really just don't know what it is until we get hold of it. Now, Johnny V did say during the event that he said his favourite female, so we don't yet know who that's going to be. We did have a bit of fun on the Vinylmation Kingdom website over the weekend. A few of us sort of put in our thoughts on who it would be. I'm thinking Mulan myself. I think Mulan or is maybe a shoe-in on this game, but that's just me guessing because of the amount of toys they've put in. But I just think, just in general, that the Toy Box Summit was a huge success. I'm hoping it will continue to carry on, and I think every year, I think it's going to really drum up a lot more competitiveness between the Toy Box artists. And I also think we're going to see a lot more Toy Box artists stepping forward for the new game, because they're making a lot of the things more easier. A lot of the Toy Box artists were saying that they were using the generators and the automatic creators, which they weren't expecting, because they got so used to doing everything manually that, and when they were so tight on time, I just think it's going to make so many more people are going to be creating stuff and submitting it. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's exactly what they want. Because what was announced during one of the sort of videos that they put up before the Toy Box Summit is now they've added sort of capacity, so you can literally there's going to be like 100,000 toy boxes space for at the minute. So all of the stuff from 1.1 is going to be 1.0 will be coming over to the game. There might be a few that might get dropped out because of certain toys, but they're all going to be available, and you're going to be able to search, you're going to be able to filter, they'll be it's just going to make life a lot easier, and you're going to literally be able to go in and download them anytime you want. And now we can actually download 300 toy boxes onto our own consoles, which will, it's like we had 100, and about halfway through the year, then I have to start deleting them every week because I just never had enough. And I think 300 sounds a lot, but even if I download the five a week, it ain't going to take long to fill that up, especially if I'm downloading sort of Infinity and Beyond member toy box as well to play through. Okay, so let's just have a quick look here a second. Okay, so I am now just going onto our Infinity and Beyond Facebook group just to see if we had any sort of no questions there from anybody there. I didn't expect so, because it's still early days for this website and this webcast. Like I said, I am putting an audio version up on iTunes and also onto Stitcher. But the main thing is here is the webcast is the aim is to do this weekly and just go through all the news of the week and a few bits and pieces. I have got some big news about sort of myself and Disney Infinity that I'm going to leave till next week because I'm going to actually have to. So I would need to hold off on that information just a little bit, but just a little bit of a sneak peek. Right, okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you Donald Duck again. So as you can see, there's Donald Duck. There was the crystal that JV announced, and there was a Toy Box bundle pack. Okay, thank you very much for joining me on this webcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, you can comment below, and you can also subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. As you say, this is a constant rolling webcast. Things are evolving, things are changing. So, if any feedback is always good. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out MyAnimationKingdom.com for all your latest Disney Infinity news. And also check us out on our Facebook group. Thank you very much.